Today we're going to take a look at how to fix the edge of this deck lid or trunk. The process is exactly the same for door bottoms and other similar panels, so it's a good skill to have. The most important part of this video will be how this edge is done and how this edge is hammered and dollied. We'll also be trying out the dual pulse MIG 4.0 from MARIXING Welder. After grinding the edge, you should see 3 layers: the outer layer, the inner panel, and the part that was folded over. Now we can get in between those and separate this outer panel from the inner. Now we'll be using this sheet metal ripper just to remove the outer panel. Mouse nests. It's good to take some measurements as you go along to make sure you have everything the same. At this point, we're ready to grind this clean and weld on a new inner panel edge. We'll be using a universal door bottom from Mill Supply, and I'll put that information in the video description. Here's a close-up of the sticker on these door bottoms. Before welding this up, let's take a look at the best way to do your edges on door bottoms and deck lids. Where you can't tap it down, right here we're lap welding, and then right here we're butt welding. The reason we're butt welding this is because we can't tap it down. The inner panel is right behind this, and I'll show you that in a second. This part we're going to fold over. There's a 45-degree angle here to match up with the 45-degree angle folding over on the back side. Anyway, again, where you can't tap it down, you're butt welding so that you have a nice uniform thickness, and then all across here is going to be a lap weld. Again, This area from here to here and all the way down to here is going to be lap welded because we can tap the seam down, fill, prime, and paint. And just a quick word on the lap welding, butt welding thing. If you're going to get a job in a body shop, this is not going to be butt welded. It's going to be lap welded. Here's a shot of that inner panel, and that white chalk line represents the butt weld on the opposite side. And you can see it would be tough to knock that weld down because of this inner panel. But over here, it's hollow. So that's where we're lap welding and where we can tap that seam down and fill. We'll tack our patches in place, then throw it on the car to make sure everything looks good. Here's a close-up of that. We bent that over, tacked it right here. We'll butt weld across here and then transition into lap welding. Here's one side tacked into place. We'll do this side and then try it on the car. Here's a close-up of the cuts made on the other side, just in case you're interested. There's a 45 here, 45 here. They'll match up when we fold it over the inner panel. And this is the fold line. Here's a quick shot of the complete patch tacked into place before we try it on the car. And a quick shot of the backside before we fold this over. We can seam seal this or use body filler to smooth it out. Everything looks good when checking the fit, so we'll go ahead and finish up. When welding a long seam like this, it's good to tack it into place, then split those distances and keep splitting the distances to reduce heat and distortion. Then you can fill in those gaps, like right in here, then move over here and over here, again to reduce temperature. Here's a close-up shot after welding, and you can put the welds right on top of each other if you want, but I've never had a problem leaving them about 1/8 to 1/4 inch apart. When folding this edge over, you'll want to put the dolly on an angle and not flat. If you put it flat, you'll make little dents all along the edge. Here's a shot from the inside. You only need a few welds along the edge of the outer panel. Those little dots you see there are from welding the inner panel. You don't have to waste time and material grinding the welds completely flat. We're going to tap that seam down and fill. We'll start with a really thin coat of fiberglass reinforced filler because it's waterproof. We'll sand this, spread a thin layer of regular filler, sand it, prime and paint. But I think at this point you have a clear picture of how to repair deck lids and door bottoms. We'll finish this up in the next video, but for now I hope this one helped you out in some way. If it did and you'd like to get my latest videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.